Well, welcome back, everybody. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing well. Hope all your little endeavors are going well. Well, we got us some armor at least, so let's see what that was. This time of year is really hard on a lot of people. And a lot of things with the loss of loved ones. When we lose someone that meant everything to us, it's really hard to find the will to carry on ourselves. And I've been there. I've been with that loss. One of the biggest things that really bothered me, and make sure that you understand this, was people. I'd lost a wife previously that died in bed right beside me. And people that had never lost a wife, that had lost a loved one but never a wife, told me, well, I know how you feel. And I was like, well, have you lost a wife? And they're like, no. Like, so then you don't know how I feel. I know you've had a loss too, and you may have lost a son or something like that, or an aunt, an uncle, whatever. But until you've actually been in my shoes, you don't know how I feel. So just keep that in mind. Okay, we don't need to go that way. Keep that in mind when you're dealing with somebody that's had a loss. I've never, and what I've told people from that experience is, hey, I've never lost a child, so I don't know what that feels like. I have, however, lost a wife, amongst other people in my life, and I know what that feels like, so I can only imagine the grief that you're going through. But we got to remember that person that we lost, we made them happy with the little things we did for them. And with them. So under that aspect, we have to keep that on. And the biggest lie that's out there is that time heals all wounds. Time doesn't heal wounds. What happens is you learn how to deal with it better than what you could have dealt with it before. You never forget that person. They're always there, and all of that, but you never, ever, ever forget them. You just take and you lock the pain away inside somewhere, and you carry on, because if you don't, you have other people in your life that you care about that will suffer. Oh, it's starting to get dark. That will suffer if you don't, if you don't carry on. So you have to learn how to carry on, and it's really hard. Oh God, there's monsters nearby. Okay, so let's put this here for right now. Block that off. And the pain of the loss never goes away. It never does. There's different ways of grieving. Some people constantly cry. Other people get angry. Other people get silent. And everybody has their own different way to grieve. So to tell somebody they're grieving the wrong way, or to just get over it, is not something that we need to do. We need to understand that everybody is human and everybody grieves in different ways. And that what might be right for one person may not be right for another person to grieve. What worked out for one may not work out for another. So keep that in mind if you're dealing with somebody, especially this time of year. It's really rough because we miss the people that were really close to us and that meant everything to us. And people this time of year, they get so sad, and I understand losing somebody is a sad experience. And it's really hard. Like I said, honestly and truly, with my thing was that I didn't want to leave the gravesite. I wanted to stay there with my wife that passed away, and I wanted to never leave there. And I had to come to the realization that life goes on, and I have to carry on. And that's what that person would have wanted. They would not have wanted me to be, constantly grieve and stuff like that. Like I said, I've never got over it, nor will I ever get over it. So yeah, it would have, I would have been in a situation where I wouldn't be where I'm at now if I would have given in to the grief, and let the grief overtake me. And like I said, it's hard. It's not easy. Trust me. I know it is not easy grieving somebody, especially this time of year or whatever. You go back and you think about, you smell something, you say, wow, that reminds me of that person. You hear a song on the radio and that reminds me of that person. You, excuse me, you go past a place, maybe a place that y'all went to all the time or something like that, and you think about that person and you start, a lot of people start to cry, break down, that kind of stuff. And it's fine. Do not ever let anybody tell you that it is not okay to grieve. And do not ever let anybody tell you you're grieving in the wrong way, because that is not true. Like we said, everybody grieves differently. And nobody grieves the same. And that goes back to the thing that we're all not the same, and it's a good thing we're not. If we all were the same, it would be a very boring world. Definitely need a shield, so we're going to take that. Okay. I just want to get this out there, and maybe it helps somebody out. Maybe these little videos that I'm doing with these little life things and life lessons, maybe it makes you look at something a little bit differently and go, wow, I never thought about that like that. And if I can help just one person, then that means the world to me, to help that person. And I'm no expert, like I said, by no means. And it wasn't like that I got over, that I learned how to deal with it. Let me put it that way. It was not like I learned how to deal with it overnight. It took years and years and years. And it took me getting remarried and having a precious little boy that is my life, that I live for every single day, that gets me up out of bed every single day. That's what it took for me to be able to go on and say, okay, life is worth functioning now, because beforehand I was in bad shape, I mean, I didn't care what happened to me, or anything like that. I mean, I was into drugs and alcohol, and that's not the way to deal with it. All that does is mask the pain and cover the pain up. It does not let you actually deal with the issue. And that's the thing, is that you have to eventually go, okay, this person would want me to carry on. This person would want me to be happy and not be sad and all of that, And it's hard, trust me. It is hard. I know it is hard. I'm going to open that one day and there's going to be a creeper right there. But it is hard to do, and I do understand that, And that's the thing, though, once you find the thing that helps you carry on, whatever it may be, if you get enjoyment and it gives you just 5 minutes, say it gives you 5 minutes of peace. If you play video games and that gives you 5 minutes of peace, take that 5 minutes every single day and do that. Say, wow, that's where my peace comes from. And if it's a video game that you and your friend played or something like that, and build something in their honor, honor them people. Know that they're there. That was a special time in your life. They held a special place in your life. And do everything you can to honor them, because life is short. We're only here for a little bit of time. And if you spend the whole time being upset and grieving, then you've missed out on so much in life that you know, it's really hard. Really, really hard. So, you know, remember that person would not want you to be upset. They would not want you to be sad. They would want you to be happy. They would want you to carry on. Like I said, it's not easy, and I know it's not easy. I know firsthand it's not easy. But the thing about it is that you honor them by carrying on, by going and being happy. 4 iron. What's it take to make a sword? 2 iron. Oh, we need sticks. Oh, okay. So let's make some sticks. But, you know, that's how you honor them. You carry on and say, okay, look, you know, I know this is hard and this is rough and this is tough, but I'm going to do what needs to be done, and I'm going to carry on because that is the right thing to do. And like I said, you will find that when you do that, you know, you start finding your peace. And that's the main thing. When we lose a loved one, it takes our peace away from us. And until you can get your peace back, it's really hard. You know, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that losing a loved one is easy and, oh, you know, you just, time heals all wounds. That is the biggest lie and the biggest misconception there is. Time does not heal all wounds. By no means. It takes learning how to deal with the situation and going, okay, so what can I do differently, you know? And I mean, there was days and months on the end of crying and the drinking and the drugs and all of that. But I learned from that. You know, it made me a stronger person. It made me a person that realized that this is not the way to do this, you know. And then, like I said, my little guy came along, and that changed everything for me. I mean, that I got off all the drugs. I got off all the alcohol. I got off all of that mess, and it changed everything for me. It made life worth living again, and I had a reason to carry on. And I think that's the main thing in this video, is you have to find your reason to carry on, whatever that may be. And if you look, there's plenty of reasons out there. There's people out there that you could help that you don't even know that you can help. You know, and you don't know. I mean, you may be breaking down someday, and somebody's like, wow, you know, you've got it together here, you know. And you're like, well, look, you know, this is how I dealt with it. And you may help somebody else deal with the loss of a loved one and everything. So, you know, I mean, this is a shorter video, and whatever holiday y'all celebrate, I hope you have a great holiday. I'm not going to go into name them or anything. I'm just going to say, if you're celebrating, you know, hopefully you have an awesome, amazing day. And just remember that there's always somebody out there that loves you. And if you are going through that, things will eventually get easier. I know you can't see it now, but it will happen. And just, you never forget the person. So don't ever buy that lie that you'll forget it, or time heals all wounds, because time does not heal all wounds at all. That's I really wish they wouldn't tell people that. Time does not heal all wounds. You just eventually learn how to deal with the pain and to tuck the pain deep down inside of you, and go that way with it. So thank y'all for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, share, and I will catch y'all in the next one.